This week's Parashat portion is taken from Genesis 23 verse 1 to Genesis 25 verse 18. The portion begins with the death of Sarah. She was 127 years old, and Abraham buried her in the cave of Machpelah. Now, after burying Sarah, Abraham spoke with his servant Eliezer and instructed him to get a wife or find a wife for Isaac, not in Canaan. He specifically instructed him not in Canaan, but from his homeland, from his country. And so Eliezer obeyed his master, and he went to Mesopotamia to find a wife for Isaac. And as he was praying in his heart, God provided for him. Exactly at that time, Rebekah came forward and did as he prayed. He specifically asked God for specific things, and the specific things that he requested in terms of somebody to come to give him water, to feed the animals. And I found this rather interesting. And sometimes where they are making plans and people are making plans and everything, and you're thinking if it is going to work out, if it is not going to work out. But we need to be reminded of this one thing. David was saying, you go before me, he was saying to God, and you follow me, and you place your hand of blessing on my head. So as Abraham instructed his servant, God went ahead and he found a wife. So as Eliezer prayed, everything was set in motion. As Eliezer prayed, God provided the wife for Isaac. And she was right, because she was Abraham's family. So she was ideal to be. And what was also interesting, the family wanted to obey God. The family was willing. Not only that, Rebekah was eager to go because the family wanted to hold her back, but no, she was eager. And so when we face life and things are happening and we're like, what's going to happen? We need to trust God, knowing that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighted in our ways, in his way. God gave favor to Abraham's servant. Isaac's wife was located, and she gladly returned with Eliezer to Canaan. So the future, the future of Abraham's line was secured. The future of the promise of God was secure. And so when God gives a word, we can trust him, knowing that he will do what is necessary to get it done. In this portion, a lot of persons died. Abraham remarried to Keturah. He had 6 sons, and he died at 175 years. But what's also interesting is that he ensured that he gave each of his sons their inheritance, and he sent them away. So he was protecting Isaac. Isaac was the promise. Isaac was God's promise. Isaac was the future of his line in God's eyes, and he made sure he protected that. And so Isaac had the chance to live and in peace, and to bring forth the promises of God as he had promised Abraham. Now, the word says that when Abraham died, God blessed Isaac richly. Also, not only that, we see the plans being put in place in Genesis for a succession of Abraham's line with Isaac and finding a wife. Now in the Haftarah, 1 Kings 1 verse 1 to 18, we see David is sick unto death, and he's laying in bed and sick. But his son Adonijah took it upon himself to say that he's the firstborn, so he's the next in line to his father, and he got the priests and Job, the persons, different persons to come along with him. But Nathan did not go with him, and David's men of war, they did not go with him, and he crowned himself king without his father's blessing, without honoring his father. And what was interesting, or what I found interesting, is this: as I said before, God always protects his word. God always put plans in place to ensure that his words come to pass. So Nathan the prophet heard about it, and he spoke with Batsheva, and he said to her, go and speak to the king about what is happening, because your life is at stake and Solomon's life is at stake. And when they did communicate the matter to David, he decided that Solomon is next in line. He told them what to do, and they followed his instruction. And the lineage of the Messiah, the lineage of David, was protected, and Solomon was crowned the king after David. So I say to you, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. What God promises, he will see to it that it comes to pass. God can be trusted. The succession of our line, the future generation, God has spoken a word. He will put the persons in place, all that is necessary in place to ensure that the future is protected, to ensure that his plans are protected. All we need to do is to obey him. All we need to do is to follow his instructions and carry out his plans. Do have a great week. Bye.